So in the parable of the prodigal son, the model that we see has the father going out to meet the son while the son is yet far away and welcoming the son with compassion. While he was still far off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion. He ran and put his arms around him and kissed him. So let's think for a moment about the characteristics of someone who is yet far away as they're revealed in this parable. Someone who is yet far away could be someone who has taken all that the Father has to offer and has walked away. Remember with this son, he said, "Father, give me the share of the property that will belong to me." And he gathered all he had and traveled to a distant country. Someone who is yet far away could be somebody who has exercised some pretty poor judgment in their life. We remember that the son squandered his property in dissolute living. Someone who is yet far away could be one who is absolutely impoverished. We remember that the son had spent everything. Or perhaps is somebody who's actually hungry. A severe famine took place throughout the country, and he began to be in need. Someone who's yet far away could be somebody who works at some very unpleasant tasks. We remember that the son went and hired himself out to feed the pigs. And of course, in first century Israel, what could be worse? This is a job that in the Talmud we read is the equivalent of being cursed. Cursed is he who feeds swine. And perhaps some light might be shed on that by thinking of someone who's yet far away as a person who's had to consider really extreme means for survival. We read about the son that he would gladly have filled himself with the pods that the pigs were eating. So who might this be today? Somebody who has to consider extreme means for survival. Perhaps someone who's had to prostitute themselves. Someone who's had to sell drugs. Somebody who's had to do something really extreme in order just to get by, just to survive. And remember that someone who is yet far away could see themselves as totally unworthy. The son said, "Father, I've sinned against heaven and before you. I'm no longer worthy to be called your son." Someone who's yet far away could be a person who has really lost all hope for the future. They have no expectations that life could be better. The son said, "Treat me like one of your hired hands, like one of your slaves," to the father. And yet, how would somebody who's in a position like this, someone who is yet far away, view one of those very challenging sayings of Jesus when it comes to discipleship? "So therefore none of you can become my disciple if you do not give up all your possessions." I think someone who is yet far away would happily give up the life that they lead. Perhaps such a person is in fact the ideal candidate for discipleship. And we remember that it's for the folks who are yet far away that we're called to go and meet them and to welcome them with compassion. In this parable that Jesus tells, the father sees the young man while he's still far off, and he's filled with compassion. He suffers with, is filled with compassion. He suffers with the son, and he runs out and puts his arms around him and embraces him and kisses him. And isn't that what we want to do here from this place? Church, of course, is not this building. It's the folks in this building who go out and meet people who are yet far away and welcome them with compassion and celebrate with them. Remember that the father put on a big feast for his son. He would hear none of this talk of not being worthy. This is the model. This is the model that Jesus teaches for us for how to bring compassion to the world. And here at the University Church, I like to think that that's what we're all about. Amen.